Joining us right now is Kevin Prins, Managing Director, Head of ETF and Managed Accounts at BMO ETFs. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
So, Kevin, here we are at Inside ETFs, the second one in Montreal.
Second one, absolutely. It's been a fantastic show. Yeah.
It has, hasn't it? It's the 10th anniversary of BMO ETFs.
For us, we were very pleased to have a chance to this event to mark our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we were trying to do is, share it with the constituents we work with, right? There's a lot of key stakeholders across the industry that we get a chance to work with, like yourselves. And coming to an event like this gives a chance to share that 10th anniversary with everybody, because it wasn't just us.
Right.
It was everybody we work with that really helped make us have 10 years in the business, right? And I look forward to having maybe 10, 20 more.
Now you have the distinction now after 10 years.
We are the second largest in Canada. We have been the fastest growing the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And really, again, it's a thank to all the advisors and portfolio managers who have been working with us across the board. But yes.
Kevin, from your viewpoint, from your perspective, what do you see is really driving the ETF business right now?
I think actually the real thing that's driving the ETF industry is, and you take it right back, is of course we all know the very first ETF was launched right here in Canada. But really what's been driving the ETF industry and growing it is portfolio construction. And I've been talking about this probably since I got in the business 10 years ago now, is that the portfolios you can build now are better than you could do 10 years ago. And I think the portfolios we'll be talking about in 10 years from now will be that much more better. There's just much more tools, better access, better cost structures. All of this is just made, investing for the, public out there and our advisors, clients out there, just better.
Yeah, it's an order of magnitude better. I think, looking back, what's made a lot of the ETF tools possible is technology. I mean, they've really been enabled by the use of big data, the ability of the speeding up of computers.
Computers, actually, that, and the insights in the marketplace and the data sets people can now look up, right? And even people like the index providers providing their data out there, all that's been part of the ecosystem of ETFs out there. But I really do think it's been, kind of core thing is exposures. You look at most advisors or portfolio managers out there, what they're doing is they're looking at their portfolio and saying, what exposures do I want to bring in? And what ETFs has really brought to the marketplace is said, let's say you want that exposure. Here's a better way of accessing that exposure, whether it's a little lower cost, maybe an exposure you couldn't access before, maybe a little more liquidity. All those pieces are very important to that core portfolio construction.
Now that you've got a low-cost tool chest that you can access, it really frees up the advisor to spend more time with their clients in terms of helping them to avoid making the quintessential mistakes of investing, the timing errors. The tools that are available also, like some of the rules-based investing tools like Smart Beta, factor investing that you guys are offering.
We've been leading the Smart Beta space too, in Canada.
Yeah.
And that's been something that we're quite proud of because that's education, right? And education starts with conversations. It's no different than advisors have a conversation with their clients. We have a conversation with them, they have them with their clients. And what we're really talking about with Smart Beta is, and that's a fancy industry term.
I agree.
Really what we're talking with Smart Beta is, does somebody want less risk in the marketplace? Does somebody want more income in the marketplace? Does somebody want to try to outperform in the marketplace? These are all different ways that people can access an ETF now to give them those outcomes, right? You're looking for a specific outcome, and the Smart Beta ETFs do that. We've been part of that. And that's, again, going back to portfolio construction, because an advisor may say, well, I have a client base that doesn't want market exposure. Okay. Well, for those client base, take a little less risk off the table and maybe go like a low volatility, like ZLB or those kind of solution sets out there.
Right. Yeah, you're really enabling advisors to customize their clients' portfolios, to customize their risk profile. You've got a great set of tools online. The BMO ETFs dashboard. You're
BMOETFs.ca. Yes, actually, thanks for that. No, we're very proud of the dashboard. It's been a good enabler back to the audience and back to the stakeholders we work with and saying, here's some tools for you to use to help give you insights what's going on in the marketplace, whether it's just the flows or the tools evaluation or just general industry updates across the board.
Now, you guys have invested a lot of time and energy and education in informing advisors, getting them up to speed with your product, with not your product, but just in terms of the naturally your products, but also in terms of the space itself. What is smart beta? What are factors? How do you use them? When do you use them?
I'm working on that. Yes.
You got a great strategist, Alfred Lee, who's providing opportunity and
real
strategy
good insights to the marketplace. He has been, and a lot of advisors follow that. Absolutely, and that's just been part of our commitment to the market.
I'd say all those things have played really an instrumental role in.
Well, you nailed it right there, because one of the things we focus on day one, education. Right? Because we can educate so many people and can make informed decisions, and informed decisions is the best anybody can ever ask for, right? I'll make an informed decision whether I'm going to do this or do this, and going back to the packaging and how you want to get them. You want to buy, individual securities, buy an ETF, buy a fund. That's just an informed decision, right?
Yeah.
And that's really what we've been trying to focus on. And the other thing too we've been focused on is, really talking to advisors about how they've been building their business. Active and passive versus active versus passive, right?
Right.
Like when we first got into the business, it was passive over here and active over here. And through conversation with advisors, you kind of realize that, no, it's really more like this.
Absolutely.
And again, going back to portfolio construction, you can build very good portfolios and mix the two of them together. And you can even have individual securities. And that's where the ETF industry has been going into, is that, again, portfolio construction, but active, passive, individual securities, just part of the overall portfolio.
What do you see in terms of the trend towards advisors shifting or transitioning from having been in the past transactional to becoming more fee-based as a result of the emergence of ETFs, the rapid growth in the ETF business?
It's certainly, if you look at the ETF industry, there's a strong correlation to the movement to fee-based and the growth of the ETF industry. Strong correlation. I think that's one of the things that helped ETFs grow in the marketplace, was that transitional shift where advisors said, you know what, I'm going to change the way I'm going to do my business, but I still want to be able to do portfolios and construction around it. So I'm going to use an ETF for this and that. And we're certainly seeing that trend continue for the distant future. That being said, for those people that have more traditional based accounts, you're also going to see ETFs do what we've done, more funds of ETFs. Right? And just be more basically, platform agnostic. You and your client, that's your conversation with your client, and how you want to work that out. Let's just provide you the tools to do that with, and you decide how you want to work with your clients. One of the things I'm very proud about is we did a whole presentation and seminars the last number of years on what we call price for advice, and really that's helping advisors, talk about their value proposition across the board. And then again, how they work with their clients is on their side, but here's your value proposition, because as the shift to fee-based came in, that shift really came a kind of a question of where's the value, right? And let's help people understand that value proposition, and then turn around and convey that to the customer across the board, and then empower them to say, I am offering you more than just investment advice. I'm financial planning, overall support, trust, and estate wills. Keep going on there,
Yeah, those are all the value-added areas that advisors define themselves with. Kevin.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Pleasure.